Eve of Destruction is a 1991 sci-fi action film from director Duncan Gibbins. The movie opens with not Patrick Bateman getting ready for sex. A bellboy arrives and a piano stinger lets us know that something evil is afoot.
Come in.
As it turns out, on the other side of the mirror is the Mission Impossible team. Computers sure were noisy back then. Overseeing this operation is Dr. Eve Simmons. Just then, things go wrong, and as it turns out, the guy is a robot! They reset the scene and take the guy back to storage. Dr. Eve watches some 90s CG for some reason, which shows the problem was in the robot's hand. The scientists work on the hand, and that effect is actually pretty good looking. This is happening right at the worst possible time, right before they're up for their budget review. In another lab, they're working on another robot, although this one is Eve 8, the 8th in a line modeled after the Good Doctor. Eve 8, huh? Makes me wonder if this is where the band Eve 6 got their name. Anyway, Eve 8's designed to be 300% superficial.
Oh, I love this jacket. It's a wonderful jacket.
Nelson Entertainment presents Half-Life 2. Now, for some reason, Eve 8's on the train. They focus on Mullet Guy, which clearly means he's the bad guy. Oh wait, it looks like he's hitting on this guy.
So, where are you from?
Okay, really, it's the scientist watching how she reacts. So, their last robot just completely failed and they skipped all that and went right to field trials?
You look big city to me. You know, classy.
Hey, you one of them classy broads, ain't you? She gets off the train and surprisingly, Mullet Guy doesn't follow her. The operative is keeping an eye on her though. They go into a bank, and as bad luck would have it, it immediately gets robbed. Eve 8 doesn't understand why Will Ferrell would be doing this. The operative tries to stop them, but gets killed. Eve 8 sees violence for the first time, so monkey see, monkey do. With the operative dead, he picks up an Uzi and wanders out into the world. Meanwhile, on the compound, they're playing mariachi music, so clearly we're now in Mexico. Monitoring the compound is Tuvok? Found anything yet?
We ain't found shit!
The Marines burst through the very flimsy gate and kill a bunch of cartel guys. They rescue the hostages, but oh no! This guy single-handedly kills the entire team. Turns out this is Colonel Jim McQuaid, and this was some sort of training exercise. Since they failed, he gives them all a good dressing down.
I wonder how many times I'm gonna have to tell you guys, you never relax! You never let down your guard! Not for 1 second!
This reminds me of some team chat after a failed raid in World of Warcraft. It's not rocket surgery! A helicopter arrives, with orders to bring McQuaid in for an urgent mission. The real Eve is working at home. Oh wow, I forgot about that old style of laptops. Her son, little Timmy, needs help with his homework.
This is a vagina.
Wait, what?
Want to know what those are called?
Those? You tell me.
Balls.
Why is it so funny when kids say dirty words? Eve gets a call letting her know that Eve 8-Bot is on the loose. She lets little Timmy know that she has to go away on business. McQuaid heads into the super science facility. The general shows him around. Uh-oh, they're in the big map room. That always means that things are bad. Turns out McQuaid was training his men because of a huge hostage crisis. He has to put that rescue mission on hold because they need him to stop Robo-Eve. They show him this secret message with Pong graphics. He sees the OG robot, which reminds me of the final boss of Star Fox. They wanted to design a robot that could pass as human. Initially, the best they could do was Cara Delevingne. However, they knew they could do better. Cut to now. The robot Eve 8 is cosplaying as Persis Kambata from Star Trek. They explain that not only does Eve 8 look like Dr. Simmons, but it also has all her memories and whatnot. Why? That seems like a terrible idea. McQuaid saw the video, but he still doesn't believe it. So, is this thing some sort of pleasure bot? Meanwhile, Eve 8 goes to buy guns at the misspelled wholesale gun store. After loading up on ammo, Eve 8 goes clothes shopping. They inform McQuaid that since she was shot, she's now locked into battlefield mode. Every time they make one of these damn robots, they always make sure to put in some sort of war programming. Why don't you add that in after all your field trials are done? The real Dr. Eve arrives on the set of Dr. Strangelove. McQuaid has a valid question.
How do I kill this thing?
They tell him the only way to kill her is to shoot her in the eyes. Eve 8 fixes her gunshot wound in a scene eerily reminiscent of the Terminator. The Terminator with boobs? They bring up a diagram of Eve 8 and why she built like a hobbit. He wants to put that tender heart in a blender. Eve 8's now all sexed up and on the prowl. Apparently battlefield mode is horny mode. They give McQuaid a fancy schmancy gun. They find out that Eve 8 rented a car. Why'd they give the robot a credit card? So an armed, horny robot is loose in the city. Great. Eve 8 stops at a bar. These guys are looking for trouble. This guy decides to make his move. She wants to hear some Janis Joplin, but this guy has other ideas. He's going to educate her on what 90s music is all about.
What do you say, you and me step into the 90s? Hmm?
She's intrigued by this, so she offers to go to his room. Maybe she is a pleasure bot. Look at his awkward boner walk. McQuaid's trying to get to know the doctor. He explains that he doesn't like machines. Eve 8's fooling around with the guy when he gets aggressive. So she eats his penis.
Oh my god! Ah! Ah! Ah!
His friends come in, and she quickly dispatches them. The local police are on the case. Eve 8 comes out and kills them. She gets in the Mustang and drives away. McQuaid's talking to the police chief. He then calls HQ with an update. An entire police force was wiped out, but they need this to stay low profile. I think we're a little bit beyond that. The real Eve goes into the bar. The police ask the bartender for a description. Oh shit! Look over there, it's her! Eve is upset that the robot version of her is becoming a hoe bag. Eve tells McQuaid she knows why Eve came to the bar. She says that Eve is acting out her fantasies. The fact that they're dealing with a horny robot killing machine launches McQuaid over the edge.
Good memories and bad. I'm gonna want the names of your favorite television programs, your favorite food, and if necessary, how you like it done to you.
Then they place surveillance by all the locations where Eve might go next. Eve 8's new target is Eve's deadbeat dad. Just then, this business guy pisses off the wrong robot. Her stuntman forces him off the road. He's not dead, so she makes sure to fix that. In doing so, her nuclear bomb is activated. Why would they put the field test model out with a nuclear bomb? The whole project is just a series of bad ideas. She explains to McQuaid that they have 24 hours to deactivate her. Eve 8's without a car, so she steals this guy's Jeep. Even though no one knows where Eve's dad is, Eve 8 finds him no problem. So, okay, the police found him too.
Well, that's 29 Tompkins Lane. The red Jeep reported stolen from Russian Gulch. It's parked in the driveway.
We made sure to glue the color-appropriate Hot Wheels to the chalkboard for effect. McQuaid's team arrives as backup. Bill's worried that they might get blamed when the nuke goes off, so they need to create a patsy. McQuaid sneaks into the house and finds Eve's dad is beaten half to death. He tries to call for help, but then gets his ass kicked. Eve tries to talk Eve 8 down. Uh-oh, robot's got crazy eyes. Eve 8 kills her dad and a bunch of Marines to make an escape. McQuaid interrogates Eve. Again, she explains how her father accidentally killed her mother. Good grief! Why did they put all this into the robot's programming? Now Eve thinks she's going to New York to see little Timmy. Oh, this is great. She's going to be in one of the biggest cities in the world when she explodes. The team is doing Timmy surveillance. Wow, they make binoculars that big? I feel like you could see Mars with them. Eve 8 manages to sneak in. She gets into her ex-husband's place and proceeds to traumatize Timmy.
Hey, Timmy! You miss me, don't you? You do miss me, don't you?
Timmy, I love you. You know that. I'm sorry we don't spend more time together, Timmy.
The ex then has a bad idea.
I'll get some coffee, all right?
Yeah, Mommy's on edge, so let's give her a stimulant. The real Eve calls Peter to let him know that Robot Eve is in his apartment. She tells him to try to get out of there with Timmy before she kills him. 20 minutes left in the film, and I'm gonna say that he doesn't succeed. Yep, downstairs, McQuaid is waiting with his laser gun. Man, they loved these things back then. And now those things are used mostly as cat toys. Eve 8 beat up Peter and took Timmy. She then lights up the block. Eve and McQuaid chase her into the subway. The general looks at the potential damage if Eve explodes in the city. The downside, New York is a crater. The upside, the TV show Friends never happens. Eve 8 gets onto the tracks, with McQuaid right after her. Uh-oh, 3 minutes to total meltdown. She tries to unload on McQuaid, but she's out of ammo. Eve begs Eve 8 for pity, and she throws little Timmy so McQuaid can take her out. He then goes for the kill shot right as the train's coming. Oh, here we got our trailer shot. This is a pretty awesome stunt. Despite getting shot in the kill switch and being run over by the subway, Eve 8 still lives. McQuaid throws Eve the gun, and she pokes her in the eye, which stops her.
I still function. Wanna bet?
So, bullet didn't work, but a jab did? I could see if it was in the other socket, but it clearly wasn't. Eve and McQuaid then head out into the city. Eve of Destruction was shot at various locations in California for about $11 million. McQuaid was played by Gregory Hines. There was a rumor that the role was originally written for a more traditional action hero, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude Van Damme. However, the writer-director Duncan Gibbins decided he wanted Hines for the role because he'd be playing very much against type. He was a serious actor, although this wasn't the first time he did an action film. He was just in the buddy cop film Running Scared a few years before this. Hines did bring a lot of gravity to the film and gave a performance that was much better than what you would expect for this kind of movie.
Comes 5 grieving widows and their fatherless children. And I don't think all that pain and loss can compare to any embarrassment that you might feel, because you gotta talk to me, and you gotta talk to me!
Although before Hines was cast, another actor was considered, Jim Belushi. He almost got the job, but had to bow out due to scheduling conflicts with taking care of business. Both Eves were played by Dutch actress and former gymnast Renee Sotenjik. I tried, Dutch people, feel free to yell at me for pronouncing it wrong. She frequently starred in Paul Verhoeven films and was a well-known Dutch sex symbol in the 80s. She also went very much against type, playing a serious scientist and the killer robot with a short fuse. They started filming in late 1989. The film was released into theaters on January 18th, 1991. It was trashed by critics, with most of them giving it a very negative score. As such, the film was dumped direct-to-video elsewhere in the world. The director, Duncan Gibbins, sadly died in a fire in 1993, and Eve of Destruction ended up being his last film. Eve of Destruction is a movie that I've been wanting to cover for a long time. It's this movie that tries to merge elements of the Terminator with family drama. Gregory Hines delivers a stellar performance in a very goofy film that actually makes the film feel more earnest in its silliness. It's a genuinely entertaining film with better than expected acting, lots of gunfights, explosions, and a horny teenage-minded pleasure bot. It's also a nuclear bomb.
Want to know what those are called?
Those? You tell me.
Balls.